going to make some shrimp fried rice with mushrooms, plus some other vegetables. And I'm using 13 to 15 count of shrimp per pound. You can use a larger count, but at Costco for $10.99 a pound, how could I pass this up? And what I've done with the shrimps, with the shell on, because the shells we need to make the stock for the rice. Cut deep into the shrimp all the way around. It'll give you that rounded look later when it's sauteed, and it'll cook a little quicker. So, show you everything that I diced up the day before. The mushrooms, the ginger, the garlic, the snow peas, red pepper, celery, onions, carrots. You may think it's a lot, but that cooks down, and besides, I enjoy eating a lot of vegetables with my dishes. Healthy. So let me get started. We're going to boil this up for about 10, 12, 15 minutes. It doesn't take a long time. The shells are very thin, but they give off a lot of flavor. And that's 2 cups. Now after this reduces a little, it'll be less than 2 cups. We do need 2 cups of stock for the rice. So just to make sure that we didn't put too much water in here, whatever the measurement is, we'll add a little water to it to get the 2 cups of liquid that we need to cook the rice. And I'm using brown rice. So while this is going on, the only thing I'm going to do now is just slice up the scallions, because everything else is ready. I have the brown rice here with a little salt. Going to use peanut oil to saute, and at the end drizzle a little sesame oil over the entire dish. And that's how I'm making the shrimp and mushroom fried rice today. When I make fried rice, other times it's entirely different. So that's what I'm doing today. Okay, now the stock is done. The rice and the salt go into the pot. Measure 2 cups. So brown rice takes a little more liquid than white rice. That's 1. And look at that. We didn't lose anything. It came out with 2 cups. Very nice. Now I'll give this a little shot of olive oil. Cover it up. And as soon as the second I see a little simmer there, cutting it down to the lowest flame possible, and then come back in a half hour and look at it. Since that stock was boiling, this should only take a minute to show a little simmer. Well, it's moving right now, so we're going to cut it down to almost you can't see the flame. And that's it. I'll be back in a half hour. Now it's time. The rice is done, sitting off to the side, and we're going to start sauteing. High flame. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I cut up all of this yesterday and cleaned the shrimp, and all I have to do is now come in, wait for the rice to cook, and then be done. Another few seconds. Now, if you want all of your vegetables, everything soft, you'll cook it a little bit longer. Me, I like al dente. And now we add the shrimps. Now there are fewer shrimps, but you can see the nice size. Just push the shrimps down into the pan so they cook. I'm actually having this for breakfast. Strange, but I eat whatever I want when I want. Now, if you were using a higher count of shrimps, you would just keep on stirring because they'll cook. While being mixed. But these are a little larger, so we're making sure. See how they curl up? Have that nice look, the same look you get when you go to a Chinese restaurant for a shrimp and lobster sauce or shrimp with broccoli. Another minute like this, and then I'm going to start just tossing it. It's the highest flame possible. And this pan is nice because it's nice and wide, so you don't lose a lot of the flame. It's right there. And now we'll start to I could call this sauteed vegetables with a little rice because that's what I'm aiming for. This dish is for two. As you can see, the vegetables are shrinking up a little. Now I'm going to add a little bit of soy sauce with the hoisin mixed in it. Mix them together because the soy thins out the hoisin. You get a more evenly distribution of that. You notice everything, it's still sauteing. You can hear the sound, and as long as it's doing that, you're doing a good job. We are done with the cooking. You know, you go to restaurants and you have something with shrimp, most of the time they overcook it. Who doesn't overcook the shrimps? The Chinese restaurants. They have it down pat. You notice the no rice is stuck in the pan. Thick bottom pot. Low heat. You'll never have rice stuck. And the last two things that go in here are the scallions and a teaspoon of sesame oil for flavor. You don't want to cook with the sesame, you always add it at the end. Now, if you use a smaller count, a larger count of shrimp, like 21, 25, or go up even further to a 30, 35 count, you'll see a lot more shrimp, but they'll be small and won't taste the same like these do. And that's it. Now we'll get a plate. Now the amount that's here you'd think is enough for 3 people. If you added more shrimps and held up on the vegetables, it probably is. But this is 2, 4, 5. There we go. Clean that plate a little. That looks great. I know it's going to taste good. And when you make it, I hope you enjoy it.